Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Cartridge Club's coverage of the EA Play Live 2020 show, which is about to start in 2 minutes. So I know we're coming in a little hot here, life. So, anyways, before we go, we wanted to give some quick predictions. Josh, you said you had some predictions. I'm going to let you go first.
Okay, Apex Legends crossplay, Need for Speed Underground of some sort. They were teasing it, and Skate 4.
Bravo. Dean, what do you got?
I think we'll see either Battlefield 6 or a remaster of Battlefield 3. I think we're going to see a title or a teaser for Fallen Order 2 or whatever the next Jedi game is. I think we're going to see Madden. We're going to see FIFA. We're going to see...
I know we're going to see those.
maybe NHL. Maybe NBA 21. We haven't seen NBA 20 because they didn't do it. So depending on the sweat physics, they might go toe-to-toe with 2K this year. We'll see. Maybe Sims 5, another Sims 4 installment, something on the family side. And we know that Joseph from Hazelight, yeah, he's going to be there. So probably a new IP or, I don't know, brothers too, sisters, a way in instead of a way out. I don't know. Something on that side. That's the thing. Like EA, they're sort of a known quantity because they're known for putting in millions and millions of dollars to franchises that are just sort of tried and true, right? So you kind of know what you're getting into on the EA place. You know that there's going to be, another Battlefront eventually coming, another Battlefield. We know that there's a rumored Medal of Honor VR game coming. Tons of people are talking about UFC 4, so maybe that'll come anytime. E and A are like together in a sentence, somebody says Skate 4. So like you said, Josh, maybe Skate 4. Yeah, I'd be surprised though if Skate 4 came because we've already seen in the past month, Tony Hawk's 1 and 2. We saw Skatebird. We saw Skate Story, like all this stuff with the Guerrilla Collective, all the indie stuff. We saw that one where you're like Blinks the cat riding on a skateboard, but you're not Blinks the cat, you're like Gory, a different cat. So there's like a lot of skateboarding stuff coming out just in the past month. So a lot of love there. A lot of people are talking about Mass Effect, either remake or remaster. So I think, on the BioWare front, we'll see something about Mass Effect. They either will say nothing about Anthem or they're going to completely just revamp it and surprise us with a relaunch. Maybe Dragon Age 4 or Inquisition 2, wherever it falls in the timeline. There's a lot, but that's the thing. They're all like known IPs that we know are coming. It's just a matter of when.
How's the audio, guys? Can you hear it? Or are you guys watching on your own screen? Just like the audio. Can anyone hear?
The audio is pretty loud on the...
It's pretty loud on this one?
Yeah.
Let me see if I can turn this down just a smidge here. Let me just stop sharing for a second. But, sorry about that. For me, I think we're going to get one remaster here. I think one. Don't know if it's going to be Dead Space or Mass Effect. I think this could be something because we're all pretty confident that we're going to see a Madden and a FIFA here. But what they surprise us with, we'll see. I'm guessing. That's my guess. My prediction. At least one remaster, because that's the in thing to do. So, Caleb, any quick predictions for the
quick predictions? My only prediction is that I think there will be nothing there that really excites me.
Sure. Good enough.
Yeah.
All right, let's see if this is any better. Otherwise, I'll just go on mute, and everyone will just kind of have to listen on their own feed. So we'll just do that, and we'll see how this turns out here. Let me just blow up the screen first. All right. Here you go. With how we sounding now? Better? Lasting still?
I'm not hearing anything.
I don't hear anything.
I don't hear nothing.
Well, they stopped with the music there.
Don't hear it.
No.
Don't hear it? Any better? Nothing. Sorry, guys. Oh, maybe I forgot to include audio. Give me one second.
That would help.
COVID-19 pandemic, whose brave heroes are working to keep us safe
Loud,
and
too
healthy
loud, quiet.
at every turn. I also want to thank our teams for their amazing dedication while working from home. What you've been able to achieve is nothing short of inspirational. We are also deeply thankful to all of you, our players.
Can you hide the little thing?
Even when we've had to stay physically apart, billions of you are using games to come together, play, and do amazing things for each other. You've shown why this is truly the greatest form of entertainment on the planet. This is also a critical time for the movement to end racism and racial injustice in this world. Black lives matter, and there is much to be done to drive real and meaningful change. A couple of weeks ago, we shared some actions that Electronic Arts is taking. We will not rest on this. It's a long-term commitment. We're here for players of every color, background, religion, and personal preference. We will continue to build strong representation in our games, and we are focused on making our communities fun, inclusive, and positive places to play. We also have real work to do to bring greater diversity into our company, and we are committed to doing that work. Today, we're here because of the power of games. Games bring us together. They can make our lives better. They can teach us. They can provide escape and self-expression. And most of all, games can be fun. All of us at Electronic Arts believe in that, and it's why we're excited to get up every morning to make great experiences for all of you. So thanks for being here with us. And now, let's get into some games.
Yay.
Ooh, ooh.
What's up, everybody? I'm Greg Miller, and welcome to EA Play. We had an incredible show in LA planned for you. Huge stage, massive setup, these giant monitors. I was going to fly in on an X-Wing. I was going to land the X-Wing on stage. I was going to set off a bunch of fireworks. Then what? T-shirt came and bam, shooting out game consoles. Then Carol Baskin, some Tigers. That last part was all me. Then, because of circumstances beyond our control, we had to come up with something a little different. Instead of LA, I'm in my hometown of San Francisco, but we still have the Tigers. What's that, Jan?
That was kind of funny.
You lied.
Good job.
All right. I'm being told there are no Tigers, but whatever.
I like a shirt.
We're going to bring you the EA Play you
Oh yeah,
know
that's
and
a nice.
love.
That's a nice
Huge
flannel shirt. I like
surprises,
that.
Big announcements, incredible
First,
reveals,
off to a good
and
start.
never
Nice
before
shirt.
seen gameplay. Coming up over the next hour, we've got game reveals galore, world premiere trailers of new titles, some old favorites making a comeback, a look at a new way Star Wars fans can live out their greatest fantasies this year, plus a sneak peek at the future. Oh, and pay close attention because today you could win one of thousands of Steam codes for more than a dozen great EA games on Steam. Throughout the show, keep an eye out for discreetly placed golden letters.
Jabba's Sex Hut VR.
E.
Write
We
them
have
down
one.
as they appear, and at the end of the
everybody.
show, we'll tell you where you can enter that secret code for a chance to win free games on Steam.
Get my
So don't
free
go
coat
anywhere.
on.
Who am I kidding? None of us can leave our houses. But enough talking. Let's see some games. Up first, we're headed to the Outlands. That's right. It's Apex Legends time.
They're gonna run out of codes by the time I get to type it in, though.
Anyone want to take me out?
You should smile more.
Ooh, flip the script.
Hey, Apex fans, the battle just keeps getting bigger. Thanks to you, Apex Legends is coming off its most successful, most
Why
epic
so
season yet, and we're just getting started. Season 4 saw more of you jumping into the fight than ever before, and you've kept
I've
that
always meaned to
amazing
play
momentum
Apex
going
'cause it's
forward,
free.
making Season 5 the biggest and best start to a season ever.
Took out an enemy. Hold on to your holograms.
We hope you've been enjoying Season 5, Fortune's Favor, which has seen the introduction of our latest legend, Loba, a major map change to Kings Canyon, rest in peace, Skulltown, an all-new ranked series, and a ton of quality of life updates. But it's about to get even better. Today, I'm here to tell you about what's coming next to Season 5 with our latest collection event, Lost Treasures. Take a look.
Throw in some time.
No one will ever know. You'll just be
Adventurers, raiders, explorers.
I thought
They
that was
risk
for you for a
everything in
second,
search
Caleb.
of
Talking.
fame, fortune.
I do some VO
and
work
answers.
sometimes.
Few find what they're looking for.
Single player.
Survive, they might walk away with lost treasures.
I'll high-five you all when I see you. Mobile respawn beacon here.
My sinuses are firing again. Check yourself or wreck yourself.
Thanks. I owe you one.
Guns? Who needs guns? I don't need guns.
I know what I'm looking for. I won't walk away without it. 너를 찾을 거야.
T, it's me. Be careful. He's watching you.
You gonna pick it up, Ryan, immediately? Is this finally the thing that got you?
As you just saw, the Lost Treasures Collection event brings with it a ton of great content, including a new limited time mode, Armed and Dangerous Evolved. It's the return of a fan favorite, snipers and shotties only, but with a twist.
Sending out my decoy.
All armor is Evo armor, and we're removing all of the respawn beacons across the entire map.
It's fun.
Don't worry though, you'll still be able to bring back your teammates with the help of a new item, the mobile respawn beacon.
I mean, this was the Fortnite killer for a minute.
You'll have one of these in your inventory at the start of each match, giving you the power to choose when and
Exactly a minute.
where you bring your teammates back into the battle. Lost Treasures also introduces a new town takeover, Crypto's Map Room, which gives players a closer look at what motivates this drone-wielding hacker. And of course, the Lost Treasures collection delivers a bunch of exclusive content you can earn by completing challenges, as well as all new event-exclusive cosmetic items and the introduction of your boy Mirage's heirloom, which is fittingly a trophy of himself.
Excited to see you all in the ring. Don't worry, there's plenty of me's to go around.
And the best part is you don't have to wait that long. Lost Treasures drops on Tuesday, June 23rd. And that's not all, Apex fans. The battle is expanding. That's right. This fall, we're bringing Apex Legends to Steam. And I know you're hoping, wondering, praying. So before you ask, yeah, crossplay is coming to Apex this fall.
What?
It's been one of the biggest requests we get, and we're thrilled to finally deliver it to our fans.
Sweet.
What am I forgetting? Oh yeah, one last thing. Let's make it official.
Switch.
We're huge fans of Nintendo here at Respawn.
Will this be part of the
We're
crossplay?
incredibly excited to be bringing Apex Legends to the Switch this fall.
That's true.
I'll
It
share
did
more
announce
details
this
in a month
after,
ahead.
so
that means you'll be able to squad no matter where you and your friends prefer to play, Xbox, PlayStation, Switch.
That's cool.
Or on the PC via Origin and Steam.
You know,
we're throwing
and
out a
that's
lifeline and
surprising
healing the
a little
divide
bit because EA doesn't really play
On behalf
with
of the
Nintendo
entire Apex
ever.
team, we want to thank our incredible community. Your passion for the game is truly inspiring. We look forward to seeing you all in the arena.
They still
and don't
haven't
forget,
put Madden.
check out Lost
on
Treasures on
Switch.
June 23rd.
Prediction right now: Madden on Switch.
Oh man, that was amazing.
They want the install base for the
I think it's
crossplay.
hyperbole.
I'm surprised they didn't mention next gen though.
Yeah, that's a good point. Is Greggy coming back?
Cool, everyone. One thing I admire about Apex Legends is its commitment to having such a diverse range of characters. At The Sims, we've always believed representation and diversity in games is
We
critically
didn't miss an
important.
extra letter here, did we?
Perhaps
I
now
was
more than
distracted
ever.
by the bright colors.
It's difficult to put into words just how meaningful it can be to see yourself reflected in the games you play. So, here to tell you in their own words are a few members of our Sims community.
It's a very interesting thing to explain.
It feels empowering, actually, and very moving.
It really taught me a lot, the importance of just like keeping relationships good with people.
It's probably like the only place where I was open.
They get to see my personality first before seeing my disability, I guess you could say.
I found myself to be the only Black child in my school. I was discriminated, I was bullied. My skin tone, my height, and my teeth.
First realized that I was trans. And
Or what?
I was like praying to God to undo it. I have this world where I can express myself and be myself.
Where I come from, who I am, the color of my skin, you know, who I'm attracted to, let any of that get in the way. It was no barriers.
No matter where I was or what I was going through, I had my safe place. This is plausible. This is a future you can have.
It was almost like I was peeking into the future, and I didn't know it at the time, but it gave me hope.
It gave me a sense of hope that I could build a life that looked like that.
The Sims is almost like a utopia of what I hope our world eventually becomes.
As I got more comfortable with my character in the game, I got more comfortable with myself.
I play to build me.
I play to express myself.
I play to make a difference.
I play to feel good about myself.
I play to have confidence.
To have me time.
Design. Fuel my creativity.
It's more than just a game. It's creating your life.
How come my creative characters never look anything like me?
It would have been great if they had like a suit, like a CG like person that was just morphed and weird looking, like to look exactly like a Sims character.
As you just saw, there are so many reasons why I am proud to be part of the Sims global
Longer
community.
hair.
We want the Sims to be a place of unity and hope, a place where you can be your authentic self and build your vision for our shared world, a place to imagine what's possible. To our Simmers, thank you for everything you've done to make your communities, virtual and real, a better place. Now, I know some of you tuned in hoping for some Sims news, and we'll have plenty to share as the summer goes on, but we do have one announcement for you. We'll be welcoming players on a whole new platform as The Sims 4 arrives on Steam today. Take a look.
I thought she was going to say Switch.
Yeah.
It's the PC show already?
Well, they had all these games on Origin before, so now they're moving them all to Steam.
Some creatures on the planet. Some footprints on the moon.
Or adding that fan base or whatever, you know, so people can buy it there too.
Free universe in blue.
So I don't play PC games enough, but if you buy it through the specific launcher, can you only play it through that launcher? Like you can't just access the exe file directly or anything?
Usually that's the case. Depends on some smaller studios will be like, here's the exe file you can download from our website, but usually you have to use the client to buy it there.
Yeah, that's a good point by Toku Joe. Sounds like RIP Origin. Nothing mentioned really going on. This all seems to be on different platforms than their own.
I think it's because they're going to do the EA Access on Steam soon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey everyone, Alex here from the social team, and joining me today from our community team is Freeman.
Hey folks, yes, we're here to tell you that it's not just The Sims 4 arriving on Steam today. 5 more great EA games, including Titanfall 2, A Way Out, and Dead Space 3, are all playable right
Dead
this
Space is free?
And when EA Access arrives on Steam this fall, you can get all those great titles and a ton more with your membership.
You can also expect to see our new releases on Steam too. One of them arrived just a short while ago with full mod support via Steamworks.
The critics love it, and we know you will too. This is Command & Conquer Remastered.
They're just promoting this. This one's already out.
Today on Steam.
Oh, on Steam today. Okay.
Wow, look at them 4K graphics.
It's beautiful. They actually did put a lot of time and effort into this. There's like a documentary you can watch. It's pretty good. Little like a behind the scenes thing.
And Steam isn't the only platform getting some love. We'll be bringing games to more platforms than ever.
You can expect 7 new games coming to Switch in the next 12 months, including Burnout Paradise coming tomorrow and Apex Legends later this year. And we're bringing
old news
many of your favorite games too.
She didn't get the updated,
Need for Speed Heat,
breakdown.
and continuing with some new titles being revealed later in the show.
It's all about giving you the freedom to play what you want, where you want, and with who you want. It's about playing together.
Absolutely. Now, let's reveal some more games. Over to you.
I kind of like seeing people in their living rooms
Reminder
doing
to keep
stuff.
an eye out for those special
Kinda-
golden letters hidden throughout the show.
Nice.
It could appear anywhere, and I mean anywhere.
Getting it right.
Keep your eyes open. Write the letters down
I
as
would have
they
thought the
appear
first
in
two
one
letters would be E and A.
You'll be able to enter for a chance to win one of more than a dozen great games on Steam. So stay tuned and find out
13.
where to enter the code at the end of the show. Now, if you follow my content at all, then you know there's nothing I love more than buffalo wings and discovering inventive new games. Well, I don't have any
trophy
buffalo
games.
wings, but I do have something just as tasty. Over the past couple of years, EA has partnered with the amazing studios like Hazelight and Zoink to give us such creative titles as A Way Out and Faye. Here to explain how they do it are a few of the talented developers working on the next wave of EA originals.
Oh, okay. Maybe my prediction's wrong. This might intrigue me.
Sometimes you just have this great idea of a game, but it can be really hard to do it on your own. We wanted space for our studio's creativity to flow free, so that we can try unconventional approaches to solving new ideas. There are times where you've got to break past your own sort of mental blocks, even if that meant building a whole new kind of game engine.
We get to do the game we want to do. Nothing.
Oh, the Oscars.
I mean, nothing comes to the game if it doesn't follow the vision.
We can really push our ideas further and bigger than we first imagined.
Let's find that magic.
And now for a deeper dive into what these developers are working on, we turn our spotlight on three studios.
P.
Up first is
Uh-oh.
Hazelight
Is it
and
gonna
their
be EA Play?
mild-mannered,
Live?
That's what
quiet
that's calling
leader,
right now.
Joseph Ferris.
Let's do it.
Please welcome Joseph Ferris.
Fuck the Oscars. I know.
There are passions.
Brothers was so good. I want them to do that game again.
Love it. Somebody in the chat named Polykill Podcast is Caleb J. Garbage.
Oscars, you know? The Oscars!
No, I'll probably check out the chat. Fight
Yeah,
back.
I'm not cocky. I can't help it, man. I was born in Beirut, 1977. I lived there 10 years. There was civil war, and there was a lot of bad stuff happening there. We tried to move 5 times to Sweden. The 5th time they let us in. And that's lucky for Sweden, because I've given Sweden a lot, you know. My third movie, Zozo, it's basically about my life when I came to Sweden when I was young. I've done 5 feature movies and now I've done 3 games. And it's way hard to make a game. It's almost like the audience have control of the pacing of the story, while in movies it's being paced for you. In video games, there's so much to be explored from a storytelling perspective because of the interactivity. There are some studios out there that are making games that have good stories, but they pretty much have one mechanic they reuse all the time. The designers and the story writers are kind of doing 2 different games. That's why I founded Hazelight, to keep pushing the boundaries of what is possible in games. That's what game number 3 from Hazelight is all about. And action. The new game, It Takes Two, is a co-op action-adventure platformer that will blow your f***ing mind away.
What?
The story starts out with a small family. Cody, May, that's the parents, and then Rose, the little daughter. So Cody and May are about to separate. Rose doesn't want them to divorce. So she creates 2 dolls out of wood and clay. And these dolls magically come alive and actually controls both Cody and May. And you could say you're almost controlling their emotions. You're almost playing their emotions. There's even levels where we're actually making a mechanic for their emotions. So again, marrying the story and the mechanics. And I think for the players, that's going to feel very new, different, and unique. They haven't played anything like this before.
Dang, I was on mute and I just had a really funny joke.
Damn it. Ride that doesn't really have an ending. It has an ending, but that ending is that the roller coaster crashes and you fly into the sky and get up into space. And when you're in space, you're like, what the f*** am I doing up here? And then maybe you get back to Earth again. That's the best way to describe It Takes Two, actually.
It sounds
Is it
crazy,
really,
but I
though?
want to play it. I want to play it. That looks fun.
Wow, that
I'm a
was
fan of
the
Hazel.
way to describe it.
Uh-oh.
All right,
We're
Joseph,
really
we love you
getting
so
these
much.
numbers
Thank
down
you.
there.
Keep it up over there. The Oscars.
There's the L.
Of course, ladies and gentlemen, let's
He said
keep
it.
this originals train rolling, and let's stay in Sweden. Of course, I'm a fan of both their delicious red gummy fish and their video games. So, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Klaus and Olaf from Zoink Games.
Zoinks.
Thanks, Greg. Welcome to Gothenburg and, well, my home. Unfortunately, I didn't bring you any Swedish fish, but we do have some exciting news for you about our latest game. At Zoink, we've always been driven by love of rich visual storytelling and creating strange worlds that people can escape to. The weirder, the better. And I think my friend Olaf would agree.
Yeah, absolutely. And
Oh,
for
I want that hair.
we wanted to try something
weirder the
a little
better.
darker,
Just look at him.
something out of a gothic fairy.
He agrees with everything.
Things
Drugs, more drugs,
world,
lots of drugs.
out of a beautiful, twisted dream, and that's the world of random.
Lost and Random is the story of Even, a little girl with a big heart and an even bigger temper.
Medically too big,
After a horrible
actually.
event that changes
He's
her life,
dying.
she embarks on a dangerous journey through the world of random. But fortunately, she's not alone.
The world random?
Like I have Olaf, Even also has a crazy little weird friend thing with her.
Along her journey, Even discovers Dicey, a playful, loyal, almost puppy-like dice companion that gives her the power to really change things in the kingdom of random.
Oh, it is.
Despite
world
the
called
name,
Random.
Even's world, randomness is
I
here.
thought it was a
The
transposition
dark
of Random
controls
World.
Every
but-
aspect of life, from where you live to how you act or what your favorite color is. It's a coming-of-age story set against the backdrop of a mysterious world, but it holds a modern message that's really relevant to our world right now.
I think we can all relate to the desire to try and control the chaos around us. With Dicey's help, though, Even learns the power in doing just the opposite. Embrace the randomness, accept the
Oh, this art
uncertainties
looks
in life,
good, but
and
where's
you'll be
the game?
surprised how far it takes you.
Imagine
That's
if
really,
you
really far
could
away.
change the course of life with the roll of a dice. What would you do? Play it safe or trust in yourself and take a chance? We can't wait.
Do that. It's called gambling. High stakes
We're still a
gambling.
long ways from launch, but we hope you will join Even and Dicey on the journey
long
next
ways
year.
away from lunch.
Until then, please enjoy this first look at Lost and Random.
There it is.
Welcome to Random.
That guy has probably some pretty cool stories to tell.
Like that time he got a braided ponytail haircut.
Yeah.
Mohawk.
Roll of one dice. A dice that has ruled this kingdom for generations, transforming the fates of people just like you. But what if I told you there is another dice?
Bullshit.
The power to change everything. Now, my friend, it's your turn to roll, to play the odds, and break the curse of random.
There's literally a side of the die that has two dots. Why not use that for the eyes?
You can't have the sweet without the sour.
Some like Tim Burton vibes.
Yeah, like
Yeah, it does.
No, Dicey. They should be scared of us.
My name's Carl. God.
It almost looks like claymation, like they purposely made it look like that.
Yeah, like a Little Nightmares or something.
Yeah, that's actually what I thought. Is this the studio that did Little Nightmares?
Really
It's not.
cool.
It's
That's
not
what
there, yeah.
Lost and Random in man.
There's another one.
Embracing randomness. I feel like I live that every day of my life. You know, I was going to do that. You didn't know that. Dicey's my spirit animal. The game's out next year. But for something that's blasting off a whole lot sooner, take it away, Kevin Franklin.
At Final Strike Games, our team of experienced industry veterans have worked on incredible multiplayer franchises. We are passionately focused on making great multiplayer games. That's why I am incredibly excited to announce that we have partnered with the talented team at EA to release our first ever title, Rocket Arena. As you'll see, we stay loyal to the name of the game. It's a rockets-only shooter that allows players to get into the action quickly and stay in the fight. We wanted Rocket Arena to be an awesome, competitive experience to play with friends.
Supposed to be
I think you're going to
GoldenEye
love what we've
rockets
got in store
only.
for you. Here is the all-new trailer of
They're
Rocket
shotguns,
Arena.
though, right?
Enjoy.
Rockets away!
Let's kick this into gear.
It's got kind of an Overwatch look to
Will
it.
soon be mine.
Yeah.
That's not a rocket.
Yeah, it is.
All right. It's rocket-esque.
It's a hero shooter.
Ever wondered why life is so good on Crater?
Crater.
Sure about the beautiful beaches,
That's why they call it that.
quality public transportation, and exotic destinations. Another victory! The people are courteous and friendly.
Jolly good for me.
And always happy to help their fellow citizens. Are you leaving already? But the real reason life is so good? We've got rockets.
I'm guessing there's several people who would say that's not what makes life so good there.
Let's hit the trail.
Is it like one-hit kills or?
Be
There's
like
no way it
Nidhogg
could
or something.
be.
Like 3D cartoony Nidhogg.
3v3.
I wonder if this is another free game like Apex. And we try to capitalize on, your deal.
Hey,
here.
Smash Brothers. Knockouts.
Never turn your back on the water.
Combos.
I got speed.
You can make your rocket turn into a rocket and then do a rocket combo.
To rocket.
I'm having a blast.
Killed by rockets, huh?
This man really feels like it's really trying to go for that Overwatch audience. And even these characters kind of feel like rip off from Overwatch.
So as you just saw, rockets are obviously awesome to blast all over the place. But in order to come out on top, there's a lot to master. You'll have a range of rocket-powered abilities to blast opponents out of the arena, and an arsenal of evasive moves. Rocket jump, rocket climb, and dodge to avoid getting knocked out.
Rocket dodge?
Don't worry though, you're never out of the action for long. Even when you're out, you'll fly right back
Good
into
thing I
it.
got Rocket Sorcery trademarked.
You'll also be able to really customize your own unique look and playstyle.
That's what they call blood in this game.
Each of the 10 heroes
Sauce?
available at launch
Yeah, rocket
have their
sauce.
own rocket-powered abilities. And as you play, you'll discover items that allow you to further refine each of your heroes' playstyles. Plus, every character has 100 levels of progression that unlock new cosmetics and rewards. All that and much more when Rocket Arena arrives on July 14th. And there's plenty more content to come in our first season, which begins just 2 weeks after launch on July 28th, and brings with it a Blast Pass and a ton of free content, including new maps, in-game events, and a new playable character. Rocket Arena is a game meant to be played with friends, regardless of platform. That's why we're thrilled to announce cross-play support right from the start.
That seems
So
to be
grab
an
your
ongoing
friends,
message here.
regardless of their
on the show.
platform, and get ready to blast off with Rocket Arena on July 14th on PlayStation, Xbox, Origin, and Steam. And we'll be sharing more gameplay right after the show with the help of some great
Vanilla
content
Stadia? What about Stadia?
on YouTube at the link below. See you in the arena.
Wow, that looks great. And hopefully you've all been keeping track of the golden
Why?
letters hidden throughout the show and nearly cracked the code. Here's a hint. Not Kanye. Keep an eye out for the last couple of letters, and then at the end of the show, we'll reveal where you need to go to enter the code and a chance to win some great games on Steam. Now, from the future of rocket warfare, we head to a different kind of battle. It's the real reason I didn't get any sleep last night, and if you thought you heard sleigh bells, that's because it might as well be Christmas in June. It's finally time to talk Star Wars Squadrons. Now, okay, I
Go
promise
see a
you
Star
we are
War.
going to get a first look at some brand new gameplay in just a moment. But first, for anyone who doesn't fully grasp why I'm so excited, earlier this week, EA and Lucasfilm dropped a trailer that literally gave me all the feels, chills, joy, excitement, and then more chills on top of
Because
that.
both
Take
PlayStation
a
and
look.
Xbox leaked it.
I'm more interested in gameplay. See what it looks like in action. It probably looks like Battlefront 2 Space Battles, right?
I mean, my impression for this right is that it's online battle, right? Where your teams of
There's a story mode.
There's a story mode to this? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a budget title though, eh? $40 or something.
One squadron.
So be short.
I mean, it could be fun. I mean, I do miss the Rogue Squadron games, so
Probably like a 5-hour campaign at the most.
Yeah.
and I'd be fine with that for a $40 game at launch, which means within the year it'd be down to 20.
Yeah,
that's true.
I'd be surprised if this is the only Star Wars stuff they show though.
The 8-year-old in all of us is celebrating and excited. The 37-year-old man on this couch is excited. Ladies and gentlemen, for the second year in a row, I have the honor and privilege of helping introduce a new Star Wars title. And here, to put the hype in hyperdrive, is none other
Well, they've been
than
releasing
Motive's
a Star Wars
creative
game a year now,
Ian
right? 'Cause
Fraser.
2 years ago was
Hello, Ian.
Battlefield 2.
Hey, Greg, how you
or
doing?
Battlefront 2.
I'm
right?
great. How are you?
And then last
Doing
year,
good. Happy to
last
actually
year
get
was
this movie to people.
I
Jedi
bet.
Fallen
Now,
Order.
in my copious notes I have on you, I'm told you are quite the Star Wars fan and have been a long time. How long have you liked Star Wars?
I've been a Star Wars fan for pretty much my whole life. I don't even remember the first time I saw the movies. And as a kid, there was a lot of different parts of Star Wars I loved.
This guy's
One of
book
them was
collection
being
here.
a pilot that I finally knew I could be a TIE fighter. I played all the flight games in the 90s, and I got pretty obsessive about them.
Only 10
Pause,
books?
meticulously draw the insides of the cockpits and stuff. And actually, I dug up some of those drawings from my parents' attic over the holidays.
We're showing
They
them right
suck.
now to the world.
You're a terrible child artist.
It is above and beyond the normal level of Star Wars fandom.
I think at Motive you'll find that quite a few people have that level of Star Wars fandom.
I made these
we
in
started
high
this
school.
project.
You
I talked
nerd.
to a lot of people as they joined the team, and a lot of them had similar kinds of stories of things they'd done as kids. One of them even built a functional cockpit in his garage.
Wow.
That's quite functional.
Define functional, exactly.
Because I think if it's not in a plane with wings, it's technically not functional.
Actually making this.
Well, I think that fandom, just love of Star Wars, has provided a really good foundation for us. But on top of that, of course, the team at Motive got a lot of experience working with Star Wars when they worked on Battlefront 2. And when Battlefront 2 wrapped up, there was a really small group of us that were really into particularly the pilot experience within Star Wars. And we wanted to make something new, something that really went all in on that part of the fantasy. And so we did kind of a grassroots initiative, or started a little passion project, and that ramped up into eventually what is the game we're going to show you today.
You talk about, your passion for this, your nostalgia for Star Wars flight games of the past. How do you honor that but make something brand new?
It's been interesting. We're trying to kind of pull from that spiritual heritage of many different games in that time period. At the same time, we want to do something that feels fresh and new for fans today. And so what we've tried to look at is sort of the spiritual core of what I think are the best of the Star Wars flight games of the past. And what they did that I love is that they made that part of the universe real. The level of depth and detail that they show in the ships, the way that you control them, is something that I remember fondly from my childhood, and it's something that we're trying to do very much with Squadron. In real life, being a pilot is hard. It takes skill, and that's something that you'll see throughout the game. As you start off playing, it's pretty straightforward, fly around, shoot your lasers. But as you get deeper into it, you start learning how to divert energy from your lasers to your engines, how to shift your shields from the front to the back to cover your butt in a dogfight. Or at the higher levels of skill, you can do really crazy stuff. Like you can boost your engines, fly ahead, cut them off, whip around 180 and shoot a missile off your own tail while drifting backwards. Like real ace pilot stuff. And that's really where we have a lot of fun with the game.
I want to do that. I want to learn how to do that. I understand the nuts and bolts of how to play it. Is there a single player story? Is there a multiplayer mode? What are we getting into?
It's actually some of both. So the game starts with a brand new single player story, takes place a little bit after Return of the Jedi, and it has kind of a unique dual perspective approach to it. So when the game starts, you're going to create two pilots. You create a New Republic pilot and an Imperial pilot, and you're going to alternate between their perspectives mission to mission over the course of the story. You're going to meet a diverse cast of characters along the way, and also a few familiar faces. Now, when you're done with that story and you've played maybe a bit in the practice range, you say, hey, I want to
Han Solo.
We want to make it really easy for you to hop online with your friends and play competitive space battles at that point. And so we've done a lot to try to reduce the barriers, to make it as easy as possible for you to play with your friends. And so I'm happy to say we fully support crossplay. You could be on PS4, Xbox One, PC. You could be playing on a traditional display or in VR, which, fun fact, the entire game supports VR from beginning to end. It's pretty cool. But regardless of how you're playing, which platform, they can all play together. Just hook up with your friend, connect, have an awesome space battle.
You just stars my mind, man. Like I don't That's awesome. That is the big question. When can people actually play it?
Not too long, actually. Star Wars Squadrons is coming out on October 2nd.
Okay, not too long at all. I was worried about you. I thought you were going to leave me on a teaser there. You didn't. You actually delivered. I appreciate that. The next big ask I have on behalf of everybody watching, I'm sure, who came here for one specific reason, can we see some new gameplay of it? Can we see any gameplay of it?
Absolutely. I kind of figured you might want to. On behalf of everyone at Motive and the team at Lucasfilm, I am very happy to show you the world's first look at gameplay of Star Wars Squadrons. Enjoy.
Cool. Let's see this.
The second Death Star is gone, but the Imperial fleet is still a threat. Vanguard Squadron, let's make history.
This is it, Titan Squadron. Everything we've done has led to this. Finish those Vanguard scum!
This is Star Wars Squadrons. Earn your wings in a single-player story spanning 2 factions.
All stations! Fire on that ship!
And master multiplayer battles as a squadron of 5. With the option to play the entire game in VR. This is the definitive Star Wars pilot experience.
Come on!
You'll begin your career in a single-player story.
Welcome to Titan Squadron.
Where you'll play as 2 combat pilots, flying for both the Empire and the New Republic. You'll experience this world through your cockpit. The instrumentation in front of you provides critical feedback about power management, targeting, and shields.
It's gonna be a lot to pay attention
With a
to.
squadron of diverse characters at your side, prove your skills on increasingly challenging missions.
Hello, Vanguard. Welcome to the Nadiri dockyard.
One of my spies has linked the attacks with the New Republic Starhawk project.
The story of the 2 pilots you play
Stick together.
will shape the balance of power in the galaxy.
Get ready!
Let him have it.
I'm surprised there's no third person.
You'll need flight time with all 8 ships. Fighters are the most flexible and versatile, able to handle any situation. Interceptors are fast and highly maneuverable.
Let's get him.
Ideal for hunting down your opponent's starfighters.
That was kind of fun!
Support ships can keep allies safe and stocked up, as well as disrupting enemy fighters.
Light him up! Nice.
Bombers are the heavy hitters, able to deal devastating damage to enemy flagships and starfighters.
If you've got a preferred component and need something customized, I'll take care of it.
Unlock everything you need to customize your pilot and starfighters simply by playing the game. From cosmetics to an arsenal of over 50 components that alter how your ships fly, fight, and survive.
They're on you! I'll deal with it.
You can dramatically change your loadout depending on your squadron's strategy.
Finally got him.
This will be critical in Star Wars Squadron's multiplayer modes. First up, dogfights.
I mean, this sounds like it'd be the biggest selling point for the online play for it.
That was the best!
Fine-tune your loadouts to work as a team.
Moving in on the enemy.
Utilize components like tractor beams, turrets, and mines.
So they're just 5v5 or?
Opponents, or
Yeah,
set
just
up your
5v5.
squad mates for the kill.
Rebels are marked!
For teams looking for an even greater challenge, it's time to prove yourself in Star Wars Squadron's signature mode, Fleet Battles. Fleet Battles are multi-stage conflicts. Whether playing solo or with friends, you'll have the option to compete against other players or AI as a squadron of 5.
Don't worry, I got him for you.
Meet your team in the social hub to solidify strategy, coordinate loadouts, and prepare for takeoff. First, push the front line by winning the dogfight in the center of the map. Next, attack or defend 2 medium-sized capital ships.
lost our capital ships.
And finally, the ultimate goal. Target and destroy the subsystems of your opponent's massive flagship and take it down.
Can I reenact that scene from
At each phase,
The Last
your
Jedi?
squadron either pushes the line forward or falls back to defend.
Keep our flagship safe.
It's
You
your
just get the ship from the end of episode 9. Death Star cannon on it.
Preventing
Yep.
assaults,
Put me in.
Stay together, strike quick.
Light speed, please.
stealth, and subversion,
Jamming
Just
the
sit
enemy.
back.
Sensors can't spot you.
or brutal bombardment.
That ship is vulnerable. Take your shot.
We need to hurry.
A unified squadron is the key to victory.
Making my attack run now.
Let's make this count.
This is Star Wars Squadrons. Join the galaxy's finest and make your mark.
You are the hope of this galaxy.
Looks fun.
I am interested.
Yeah. I'm just surprised there's no third person view at all. Like, you figured they would have that in there. I know what they're trying
for VR.
Oh, Madden.
It's your boy Lamar Jackson. I'm excited to be a part
Dean
of
with
the
the
EA
correct
Sports
prediction.
family and to be you guys' new man cover athlete. I can't wait to show you guys what we have in store for you this season. This is EA Sports Next Level.
Next gen.
You feel it all.
You feel that burst of speed?
It's like I'm lightning. In that moment, I'm untouchable.
Same game.
I'm not playing. I'm not afraid of anything.
Not afraid to hit or get hit.
This game is, I went through a lot. Makes me feel like somebody. I never thought I could rise to a level where
It's just me and the keeper.
Sweaty.
My heart is like, doom. Score that goal, and you're a hero. And history carves your name.
you know what it sounds like. 60,000 people.
Singing your song.
I can't live without that.
Same game.
I feel football in my heart. I feel it in my hands. Like, taste it. See the unknown.
Face my fears.
Live the fight again.
I want the real thing.
Devontae.
The crowds make me nervous right now.
Shin splitting, hair raising.
I want to live in the floodlights.
I want to play that post-apocalyptic football game.
It's all.
I'm so tired of hype trailers like this.
EA Sports. It's in the game.
I mean, not that I would buy a sports game anyway. I'm not into it, but
Just say EA Sports big next, and I'll be happy.
Now, that's a lot to look forward to, but there's more. Here to tell us about the future of gaming is EA's Chief Studio Officer, Laura Miele.
I mean, I
Thanks,
should save
Greg,
that for after
and
the
thanks,
show, but
Lamar.
that's a very disappointing
Welcome to the
show
EA
for
Sports
next gen
family.
sports games.
There
It
are
was
great
just all
things to
CG.
come from
There
EA
was no
Sports for all
gameplay
of
there.
you, and that's just the beginning.
And someone
As
who
you've seen
used
throughout
to
the show
like playing
today,
sports
our
games.
electronic artists are working hard to bring you more of the games that you want to play.
But I'm
Games
sure
like
it's
Star
solo.
Wars Squadrons, Apex Legends, and Command and Conquer. These games all exist because of you. Your voices are heard, and we are acting on your feedback.
wait,
we've
wasn't
talked a
Apex
lot about
Legends
all
like
the exciting
a
games you'll be
surprise
playing
drop
this year?
when it was first released?
Our studios
How
are
does
working
that
even
exist?
further out, creating new
They're gonna make them
experiences, new
billions.
stories, new gameplay, all enabled by
Save
new
the
console
company.
technology. And we're so excited about what's to come, we don't want to wait until next June to share what the teams are working on.
Fog machine.
Generation shifts are an opportunity to push beyond the boundaries of gaming as we know it today.
He's playing.
And this time is no different. Our studios are taking their crazy ambitious ideas and making them real. Criterion is known for how their games feel. From superior physics to nuanced details of gameplay, this
Burnout.
team curates the moment-to-moment experience. And with the new consoles this year, there will be a seamless immersion which will get you into the race in a matter of seconds. BioWare imagines and creates worlds where you become the hero of your own story. And we're using this next generation of technology to make those fantasy worlds your reality. For every console generation, DICE sets the bar for excellence in audio and visual presentation. We are creating epic battles at a scale and fidelity unlike anything you've experienced before. At Motive, we are working on a highly ambitious, innovative new game that puts the power and creativity in your hands. And it's an experience that would have been impossible without next-gen technology. This is just the beginning of the things we are working on, and there is so much more to come. The future of EA Studios is not just about new technology. It's about you, your voices, your ideas. We want to be where you come to play. We want to make games for everyone. So please keep giving us your feedback, and let's build the future together. On behalf of all of our studios, thank you for joining us today. But before we sign off,
that's it.
There's one more game we would love to share. Cousin Darren, over to you.
Cousin Darren.
Thank you. So the moment is here.
Skate.
We get to say,
nice.
We're doing it. Skate's happening. We're rolling. Woo-hoo! We got together. It's the beginning. The skate evolution continues.
We've been waiting years, honestly, to make the right game at the right time with the right idea, and really pleased to say that we're here. It is really early, but
Marvel something.
It takes a little while to find guys to wake them up.
Yeah, Hunter Thompson.
Dude, harsh. Still, we've got a long way to go, but we're stoked, and this is just the beginning.
And seriously, we really can't wait to bring you guys in and have you be a part of it with us.
We want to thank you for your passion, your patience, and all the support that you've shown, us to get to this point.
The comments.
It's amazing. We cannot believe
good contribution, Blue Shirt dude.
Amazing. Skate changed my life. Thank you so much. Skate forever.
Guys, we did it. We brought back Skate. Thank you to EA.
Live.
Thank you to Cuz. Thank you to Darren. Thank you to you. Thank you to me. I can't believe that I'm so happy in my heart rate. Is this what exercise feels like? Ladies and gentlemen, I can't believe it. Before we go, because I love you guys, here are the last letters of the secret code. If you think you've got the complete code, go to player.gg/EA and enter for a chance to win one of thousands of free games sponsored.
Now you're going to have to probably register, create an account.
And everything else over at player.gg/EA.
EA Play Live.
This has been an amazing experience, an amazing opportunity for all of us all over the world to come together and celebrate gaming. Thank you for being part of EA Play. Until next time, I'll see you online, and it's been my pleasure to serve you.
Yeah.
We see it all with wonder. We dream in every color, and we come alive. This is where our dreams begin. We are catching if we just win.
Well, that's the show for EA Play Live. Back to us all here. So yeah, we just watched that. And guys, Caleb, did they exceed your expectations?
He's muted.
I will say that my prediction was wrong because there was one game that looked good. Or that I was excited about. I shouldn't say look good. That's disparaging to the way the games look. They look great, but the one that I'm interested in. So, yeah.
What was the point of this thing?
Yeah, all of this could have been packaged in with Xbox or PlayStation events for sure.
Yeah, but with them doing their own thing, they're a bigger deal now.
They didn't even have like a logo for Skate. Like, I mean, it's cool they're doing it, but it's like, here's like a tech render. Here's a guy skating for 2 seconds, or here's a logo, or anything. Nothing.
I'm guessing that they randomly just signed off on it recently too. Like,
yeah, so it's gonna be like
they must not even started developing. They must have said, you know what, green light it, sign the paper, so we can at least have one thing to sign off at the end of the show, saying one more game.
It was probably as soon as the Tony Hawk remasters were announced, they were like, "Oh crap, we should probably do this."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Dean, sorry, Josh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say there was a couple of things in there, but Dean could go first.
Yeah. Listen, didn't exceed your expectations. We'll start with that.
No, mine or Josh's.
No, your expectations for this.
Yeah, no. I had, I said at the top of the show I wanted to be surprised. I guess I'm surprised that they didn't even show the stuff that we had expected to be there, even to say they were working on it. Mm-hmm. They really didn't show anything for next gen. They had a little montage that they're working on stuff for next gen, but nothing we saw today was for next gen. They almost started the show saying, "Hey, look, we're going to be doing a bunch of stuff with the Switch," and then none of the games they showed were on Switch. So I don't know. It's just a little confusing. It's like, I don't know what
they said 7 games that come to Switch recently.
I think they said 15 games coming to Switch, but then all of the new updates that they were showing was like PS4, Xbox One, Steam. They said Origin like once. So yeah, I don't know. It seemed like sort of a highlight reel of what's ready to go, and nothing was too impressive. But I did enjoy like Lost in Random. That looks kind of cool. And the new Joseph Ferris game.
It Takes Two.
It Takes Two. Yeah. Those might be fun. Those like the EA originals is kind of what I was focusing on, but
that you made a great point there. One thing I did kind of notice too, that they really didn't mention too much about next gen, which I think they would jump more on the opportunity, because Madden and FIFA are all going to be on the next gen. And, I mean, I imagine Apex is going to be on there as well, just because you want to get on that next gen hype. There's a lot of hype going around for both new consoles coming out now too. I know, like, I'm not going to buy Madden because that franchise has thoroughly disappointed me, and I felt it's been a very lazy franchise since they had no competition. And this is coming from someone who actually enjoys playing sporting games, but I won't buy Madden games until they prove me wrong, I guess. But I was surprisingly disappointed to not see actual gameplay for Madden and FIFA. But as someone who enjoys sports and football, I was disappointed, or it seemed like it's unless that's what games are actually going to look like, football games, which is incredibly impressive. I just will not believe it until I see it. It looked very much like a cutscene, and I think they already kind of mentioned that if you purchase Madden prior to to March, I think, of next year, your Xbox One version will be automatically upgraded with their smart delivery.
Yeah.
So I kind of want to see what it looks like, and you had the opportunity to show it, unless Microsoft just purchased the rights for displaying what first gameplay for Madden will look like. That's a possibility, but I would have thought with their own show, they would have at least shown something with these next-gen sports, what they would look like. So,
and that's kind of what I'm saying. Like, there was no like threshold of how much a game had to be complete to show it at this show. Like, they were saying things like Madden and FIFA and Skate, and they showed no gameplay. They didn't show anything. Mm-hmm. We know they're working on Battlefront 3. We know they're working on a new Battlefield, whether it's 6 or a remaster of 3. Like, we know they're working on all these projects, a new Fallen Order. They could have at least shown a logo or something to say, hey, we're also working on these in addition to Madden and FIFA and Skate. So it's not like the baseline wasn't there. Like, they announced games that there was no tangible visibility into. So I don't know. I don't know what they were trying to do.
And it kind of sucked. They showed they're like, here's BioWare, and then they're like, okay, is there gonna be Mass Effect trilogy? Okay, this looks like Dragon Age, and then there was like, oh yeah, we can build stuff in a fantasy setting in BioWare, and then they just go to the next thing and don't say anything, and you're just like, okay.
It makes me imagine how disappointing this would have been if it was an E3 presentation, right? Like, because if they had if they canceled E3, E3 was canceled obviously, but like if they had been expecting to be at an E3, they would have been started development on, I'm guessing, presentations and videos and stuff long ago. So like they should still have those assets. They should still have those things that they were going to present.
Yeah.
If this ultimately was going to be the thing that they presented, I mean, can you imagine how much of a disappointment that probably would have been? It didn't need to be here. I think it's probably because they're a publisher, not a console manufacturer, and they still think in terms of hype marketing and wowing people with trailers and things like that, when more so than any other series of E3-ish events, this has shown me that gameplay is just so incredibly important for me to even care anymore. Like, and if you don't show gameplay, what that tells me is that you're not proud of the gameplay, that you don't, or the games aren't far enough along. And if they're not far enough along, I don't even want to know about it. Like in the sort of internet culture, I hate that term, but I'll say it in the sense of everything's moving at the speed of light. There's leaks all the time. We already know when there's a big game. So like we're coming to it expecting these things that are already there. Even if they haven't been officially announced, we expect they're there. So showing us a trailer isn't like, oh my God, it's coming. We already know it's coming. We want to see something a little bit more. And I think, again, it's probably because they're a publisher and not a console manufacturer, that they don't see the importance of showcasing what the systems can do, because they don't need to sell the systems directly anyway. They don't need to sell the systems. And so they probably just don't care as much about that, which just kind of sucks. So,
I mean, the big selling point, it seemed like this show at least, was play across on any platform except for really Switch. Switch was Apex was the only one they're allowing to, but which is kind of surprising, knowing Nintendo's online presence. Unless they're having like Microsoft help out with their online servers for something like Apex, which is possible.
Well, Fortnite does it, and I think Fortnite bypasses Nintendo's online stuff. Like somehow they program it themselves and handle everything themselves. It's really weird. But yeah, Fortnite has Switch capability, like online capabilities, that works really well. My son plays it all the time on Switch.
Yeah, they're not trailblazing here though. I mean,
yeah,
crossplay is going to be the standard. So to be the biggest publisher in the world, you're going to have to hop on board with that. So it's great that they promoted it, but
they've been the most vocal most vocal about it so far from what we've seen here with the crossplay.
There's at least 5 different leaks that said Mass Effect Trilogy Remaster. If they just had like a logo saying this is coming eventually, then people would have been, that's another like hype moment for a lot of people right there.
I think that would also like help kind of repair some of the damage with Mass Effect Andromeda. I know some people like it. I personally don't, but I think there's kind of a stink to the Mass Effect franchise right now. And I think just a remaster of the original trilogy, which everyone seems to love, I think would have gotten a lot more hype going for this show. Even, Dead Space, but they seem like they have no intentions of touching that right now. I know Steven Eider, I believe, posted in here saying they put the dead in Dead Space in chat. But it seems like it was a missed opportunity. And maybe they just weren't planning it. Maybe it was kind of like a skate thing where at the last minute, sign on the paper so we can stay at the EA show. Here's something, because
one of the things that like about remakes and things like that, I was listening to, there's a great podcast called Play, Watch, Listen. If you guys haven't listened to it, it's actually really, really good. Mike Bithell was on there a few weeks ago on one of the earlier episodes, and they were specifically talking about a Mass Effect reboot or a remake or thing. And he's a game director, game developer. He's in the business. He knows things. And he was basically saying, with a company like EA, he was not expecting any sort of Mass Effect information or news anyway, because while it's gamers love it and it was successful, EA could better spend those development resources on new IPs that could be giant, kind of in the way that they really wanted. What was BioWare working on, the one that didn't go anywhere? Anthem, thank you. They would much rather throw that entire staff at another Anthem or another attempt to make something like Anthem was than to put them on a project like remastering or remaking Mass Effect. Now, they could, of course, farm it out to a different studio, right? They could say, let's hire a different studio to do it. But even then, they're still paying for something that they could invest those resources elsewhere and potentially make more money. It's a gamble with them, and they have the money to be able to gamble. So it's like Rockstar. When Rockstar, what do they make? $5 million a day on on a Grand Theft Auto Online. That's why they're not making another Grand Theft Auto. Like, yeah, they could, and it would sell well. Or that's not why they're remastering. Like, why not remaster some of the earlier Grand Theft Autos for a new audience? That's why they're not doing it, because they make $5 million a day on online. They don't need to. It just doesn't make financial sense to take resources away from something that makes so much money. And that's what I think EA is trying to do with some of these. Because there wasn't a ton of new franchises there, at least not ones directly from EA. There were some the independent smaller things, but nothing massively new. And that's just how it is. But yeah,
that's interesting, because you would think a company like BioWare, a developer like BioWare, I mean, their past 2 attempts with Anthem and with Andromeda have failed pretty hard. So you would think they wanted something easy to just get out the door and sort of bump up the numbers again and let them, invest this staff rather than trying at a new IP or to redo Anthem or.
I think if they were owned by a different publisher, then maybe
you're probably right. You're probably right. I mean, EA has the money to throw at this, so.
Yeah,
they have the rights to the NFL. They have the rights to FIFA. They have the rights to Star Wars. So they have a lot. They have a lot of heavy hitters. As much as you would love to, see other people maybe try a certain game, they hold the rights to it. And this is an original saying. I heard this today, and I can't remember exactly what show said it. But even when they did something like Star Wars Battlefront 2, and they had all the microtransactions and people shitted all over them for it, it still sold really well. Yeah. They went back and they patched it. They didn't need to. It still sold really well because it was Star Wars. I mean, I think they kind of dampened some of their sales too, having this leak come out late last week, I think it was, when the leak that Squadrons was dropping. That I think that took some of their sales. I think that was kind of probably going to be their big announcement for today. And sorry, thanks to Xbox and PlayStation for their online stores accidentally leaking it. But I'll admit that looked interesting. It looked interesting. Not going to buy it day one, but I probably will play it this year if it's a good Black Friday sale or something. Because I am interested in probably playing. I know I keep saying like I don't play too much online games with friends, but maybe I do. I do have the online for PlayStation. I do have Xbox Live. I would. This sounds like a fun game to play online. Did they say how many it was? Was it 8 on 8? 4
5 on 5. 5v5s.
I think an online dogfight game could be a lot of fun. It's it looked kind of a little complicated with the you might have to put the back shields on and stuff like that. It's kind of a turn off for me a little bit.
That's the thing, right? Like it's all formational. They said you play, but you have to like stay in line with your team, and it's like, you imagine they have to like match make somehow, because you're going to get a couple noobs in there with a couple pros, and you're just going to be everywhere. It's never going to work.
When you're doing a lot of it as a single player. So it's like you're building up your character, I assume, as a single player. Then I guess by the time you get to a certain level and you're capable, then you get to the multiplayer arena. But
that's a good point.
Can you spend more time in the single player and grind that way? I don't know. It's an interesting concept, though. Although it seems like it's trying to get the best of both worlds. Like, it feels like there's a pretty staunch division between people who want single player experiences and people who like multiplayer. And there's bleed over, of course, but the Venn diagram, I think, is probably not quite exactly overlap, right? It's probably a little bit different. And so, are you really appeasing too many audiences if you're forcing them to do both a single player and a multiplayer campaign? And it was a very brief mention, so maybe the single player portion is very small and therefore it's more of a tutorial type thing. I don't know, but it seems like a weird thing. Just go all in or don't. But then again, I'm not a Star Wars fan, so I should probably shut up. So
I just like I like the idea more of like flying it. But then again, I'm coming off of someone who loved the Rogue Squadron games, or my basically was just like B is to throw a bomb and then basically just hold down A and fly around. Basically, that was it. This is when you look at this. Basically, it's like, oh, you have to watch your radar. Oh, put the front shields on. Oh, put the back shields on. And I'm like, that part, like, I'm not thinking about, and I imagine it's going to come into effect awfully quickly playing this game while I'm getting right or something like that.
Give it 3 months and people are going to be pros at this game, and you're going to jump in there and be like, I think I know what I'm doing, and then you're going to see somebody do like a crazy skid in midair and turn a shield on and just destroy you instantly, and you're gonna be like, well, I can't play this anymore.
Everyone's gonna be Luke Skywalker basically by the time you come walking in here.
Yeah, pretty much. That's how it is with a lot of
that guy's
multiplayer.
name, Porker.
I was kind of likening the single player to like a Titanfall 1, which I played a little bit of. It's kind of what it would do is it drop you into a cutscene, and you see a little cutscene, and you get like a log that you can read on while it loads, and then you jump into a match, and then it does it again, another cutscene, and then you jump into a match, basically like that. That's kind of how I'm picturing it. So I don't know if I like that idea, but that's pretty much what the gist of it I got from that video presentation. I think I'm gonna play the game. I'll try it out, but like Ryan's saying, maybe get it like a budget deal, little down the line.
You know, that Rock Arena game, I get that free to play vibe from that one. I don't know if that's gonna be.
It looked free to play, and he did say what was it, Blast Pass, which is battle pass, and that's like in every free to play game. So when he said that, I pretty much thought, oh, that's free. I could try that out, see if it's any fun. You know, it had a good that I actually seemed kind of generic to the point where I forgot they even announced it. But when you say it, I'm like, that might be fun. I'll try it. You know, because it kind of felt pretty generic, honestly.
It did. It felt like an Overwatch ripoff. Even like some of the characters, granted, not all of them had the same shapes. Like Overwatch, I think, has a little bit more like I don't know. I don't want to say diversity for the characters, but like you got your chunky guy. You got this one. Basically, it's like, oh, he's the old guy, but he's not chunky. You know,
it's Overwatch with Fortnite character models.
Yeah, more like that. Yeah,
yeah.
Apparently, you guys didn't hear the only rockets part. Okay, it's only rockets.
Yeah, but
I mean that's an interesting concept, I guess, because every weapon would be like what, like a hit scan type of thing. But I saw a sniper rifle. That's not a rocket. Like
it's a sniper rocket.
Sniper rocket. Okay.
Yeah.
Put a scope on it.
They have rocket pistols. They have rocket grenades. A rocket sword. They have a rocket sword. So it's really just rockets.
And a rocket knife too. Just for quick.
A rocket knife.
Yeah. Quick.
I mean, that's the thing. I would download and try a couple matches and then say, okay, that's good. I'll play a little bit more. Okay, I'll delete it. I'm not like super invested in that.
I did question some of the wording. I'm sorry to cut you off there, Josh, but like he said, like there'll be a brand new character right at launch, and I'm like, well, aren't they all new? So, but, just thought.
The question, I mean, this is more a little bit of minutia. I was wondering if they had, you know, how Apex Legends, you could buy like I don't know what the money's called, but you can buy it to unlock characters. No. I wonder if you unlock the characters in PlayStation, that if you jump over to your Xbox. Would your characters be unlocked there? That would be my question. Like, could you play? Does that have cross progression? Basically, that's what I'm asking. They didn't say that, so I doubt it. So it looks like it's like you're locked into one ecosystem, which is kind of not completely all the way there because Call of Duty will let you take your character everywhere, and so does Fortnite and Rocket League and games now. So they're still not 100% there. They're just doing the crossplay part of that whole.
Yeah, that's where a lot of developers get caught in interviews. I'm noticing is that they're really toting this crossplay, but anytime an interviewer asks about cross progression, they're like, no, not yet. We're getting there. It's in the plan, but we're not there yet. So I think they'll specifically call it out if a game does it. Yeah,
because like Destiny is kind of doing it the other way around. They have cross progression right now. Like you can carry your characters wherever. You can't play with everybody yet, but whenever like this fall, they said they're working on it. So, but yeah,
you can carry your character over, but you can't play.
Yeah, I can't play PlayStation 4 against Xbox.
Oh, I see.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. So, I'm glad they're making the skate game. I think I mentioned this already, but that was like the most underwhelming reveal I think of something that I should be really excited about. You know what I mean? I should be like jumping up and down right now, like, oh my god, there's a skate game. But it's like, oh yeah, we're starting it. Oh, there's a lot more to do. I'm like, okay, so this is like 3 years in the making, maybe 2-3 years until I see this game. So
and they were making that almost as a selling point. Eh? They were like, we heard you, and this is just the beginning.
Like, can somebody just go into like Photoshop and just make like a fake skate logo, say temporary logo or something? Like,
you can change that. You can change the logo next year. Like Metroid. Let's go to Metroid Prime 4. That reveal. They're gonna probably
they can get to go to one of those image sites and get a half pipe, buy a half pipe image, and then just make like a little like skate logo, say coming soon or something.
Just
that would have been more hype.
One from the first game and put a 4 after it. That's
I mean, it would have been more hype than just saying, "Oh yeah, we're working on it." I don't know.
Whatever.
It was like one of the most dud reveals I've seen. And then I kind of expected something from Need for Speed because they teased the music from Need for Speed Underground on their Twitter this morning. Get Low, that older rap song. I was like, oh, cool. Need for Speed Underground. Is it going to be an expansion pass for Need for Speed Heat? It's going to be a new game, a remaster? No, nothing.
Yeah, and they showcased the car models in the actual.
That was. I'm sorry, I was thinking of what Burnout for Paradise. They re-releasing the PS3 game on the Switch.
Yeah, but they already released that on PlayStation 4 last year. You know, so and we already knew that was coming to Switch. It's not like a new reveal. That was already a thing that we knew about. So yeah, I think we're all disappointed, huh? A little bit.
I don't know. I think probably low expectations. So
yeah, underwhelmed. That's probably the right word. But I did think the EA originals. I'm gonna play all those. I think they all had really cool artistic vision and unique ideas. I think Joseph Ferris's gamers are really cool. I love Brothers, and A Way Out was really great too. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, likewise. It sounds like the next one. It's interesting because with Brothers, you know, it's sort of being a single player co-op game in a weird way, and then with A Way Out, it was co-op obviously, but it felt controlled. Like there wasn't a lot of like twitchy kind of behavior necessary. The fact that this one's a competitive or a co-op like platformer, that seems really interesting because you think of I immediately think back to like the old Contra days where if you like jumped up too fast on a vertical rolling stage, you would kill the person below you.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping those kinds of things are things that they could figure out, you know, like how do you make it so that, you know, two characters or like even more modern games like the Lego Marvel games, they do the thing that like Toe Jam and Earl did back in the Sega system where like if you went too far apart from each other, it would split. But even that's so jarring. Like it's jarring as hell. So I'm hoping that they sort of directed the game in a way that you sort of stay confined and it's not, you know, artificial and all that kind of stuff. I mean, I have faith in Hazelight, so I'm sure it's going to be great. But yeah, that's my initial concern.
It looked like a 3D game, but a good example I was trying to think of like a game that would do something like that is that Unravel 2, where you had two players where you can like, you know, help each other out and swing on each other and stuff.
And that one was really successful because you had a limited distance that you could really get from each other anyway, and it being 2D also allowed you to control the pain a little bit. And then in objects that you had to get through, like none of the objects, even if you're playing single player, didn't allow you to really. If the camera zoomed out enough, you were still forced into a certain frame, even in single player. So it's like it controlled the two-player experience. You could never get too far ahead of someone or too far behind someone because the puzzles just didn't allow you to do that.
Yeah.
So yeah, they did it really well.
Isn't that EA as well?
Yeah, that is the EA game. Yeah. EA original.
I think that was like one of their first like big originals, right?
Yeah, the Unravel was one. Anyway. They had that guy who was all nervous on stage with Yarny, all like cute. Like I wanted to pinch his cheeks. But yeah, I did like the EA originals. I think that's the highlight of the show. They could have just put that little section out as a trailer, and I would have been perfectly fine.
Yeah,
and then just put it like the Star Wars Squadron in a different video, and I would just that's all they really needed to do. Honestly, they didn't need to make this package, but I know it gets everybody to look at it all at the same time, right? That's kind of the point of this. So,
and to downvote it and complain about it at the same time too.
Yeah,
I mean, they used to lump themselves in with everybody, but then they felt like they needed to be a part of their own show. But I don't know, as someone, I get it because you want to probably get on all the hype, but they probably benefit more from selling their rights to reveal their games probably on your PlayStation and your Xbox. You know, who gets the rights to Madden? Who gets the rights to Star Wars? Who gets,
That's true.
Well, yeah. I mean, like, if Bethesda's a good example this year. They're like, we're not doing our own event, and they show 2 games at the PlayStation event, right? Mm-hmm. They're probably going to show some on the Xbox event coming up too. I assume, you know, Wolfenstein or something. You know, keep that going. So, I mean, they could have done that. They could have just had Star Wars Squadrons at, you know, that third-party thing that Microsoft did 3 weeks ago or whatever, and then they could have did the EA originals at a different thing, you know, and all the odds would have still been on it. I don't know, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
So should we have we put a bow on this? Are we done with EA? Should we go back to earlier in the week?
Sure.
So,
rewind a little bit.
Yeah, let's just rewind a little bit. You know, there's a few games announcements. starting with, was it on Saturday with the Gorilla?
Just a few, like hundreds.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
There's been so many that I still have yet to catch up with it on all of them. But you know what? Let's start with one game that was announced yesterday that I got kind of hyped for it, which actually was the new Pokemon Snap.
Smile.
Sorry, Smile. No, Snap. It's not being called Pokemon Snap 2, which is a little disappointing. But you know what? I was, as you know, everyone knows me as a fan of the Nintendo 64. That was kind of a. I guess I'm a little bit more disappointed in the fact that that this didn't come out on the Wii U, because it felt like missed opportunity with the tablet. Regardless, I don't know. I enjoy this one, so this got me. I wasn't expecting it. I should say that it seems like an easy grab, an easy probably Pokemon game. Is it coming out in the fall or holiday season?
There's no release date. It just says under construction.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I would imagine this would have been maybe one of the Pokemon games for the fall, but it was a nice little part of their Pokemon live stream yesterday where they showed Pokemon Smile, which was a mobile brush your teeth game for kids, you know, to help you learn how to brush your teeth. But I don't know. It's such a relaxing game. That's what I loved about the first game. You don't have to worry about much, you know, stress. You just sit back, you throw stink balls at some Pokemon, you throw some apples at them, try to get different pictures, and you get points from that. I don't know if there's going to be any printing features like it was for the original, but
bring it to the store. Yeah, this looks awesome. I see that a lot though about the Wii U, and I guess it would be good as a mechanic. But could you really could you see yourself doing that? Like really?
With the Switch tablet,
it's a great novelty, cool, but
yes, I can, because I played Star Fox Zero, and Nintendo forced it on me to actually do stuff.
Yeah, where they forced it on you.
I can see that. Would I want to? Maybe not. It just seems like
a track as well, right? Captain Toad. Like I
it's
did
like
that.
Splatoon, where you can control like this. Like I turned that off.
I'm gonna be playing this game on the toilet or in bed. Like I'm not gonna be walking around my room and oh shit, I missed that, and spin around really quick. Like it's a great idea. It's a cool concept, but
maybe if they had that as an option, like that,
Am I just dense, or could you still do that exact same thing with a Switch? I mean, that still is you could still do that, right? The Switch understands gyroscopic movement. It knows where your thing is. It can tell that you're looking up or down.
That's why the Pro Controller is so expensive. Like it has all that stuff in there. I did show this to Sierra. She's a huge Nintendo 64 person and a Pokemon person. She was laying in bed. I woke her up because she had worked late the night before, and I woke her up and said, "Hey, you got to see this." And I played it. She jumped out of bed. She's like, "Oh my god!" She was super excited. So we're definitely going to be pick that up. So that was like one of those things. Like you can't read what this is. I got to press play for you and everything. I don't want you to know because she's been waiting. She's one of those people that'd be like, "Okay, when's Pokemon Snap going to come out?" So, and she's a photographer, so she's pretty stoked about it.
You know what it is probably too with it is it's probably one of those games that Nintendo has in their back pocket at all times when they know we don't got anything for a while and we know this will generate some hype. Keep this in your back pocket. You know, when you don't have to because Nintendo's always trying to be somewhat original with their games, and that's why you really hardly see any sequels from some of their big franchises. So maybe it's like when they know they want to get hype, they can always revisit Ocarina of Time. They can always re-release it or tie something into it, or anything Mario 64 that will get hype. I know I'm quoting
I hope they
64 games here, but anything like classic, they know they can always dip back into that well when they're struggling with ideas. And maybe that's what it is. It's an easy cash grab. It's going to sell like hotcakes, especially because it's Pokemon. Pokemon just kills it right now, especially on the Switch.
Yeah, and they're going to do events and stuff. There's going to be certain dates when Pokemon are going to be appearing in the different stages, and you'll have to keep going back to it. So, but this is Bandai. This isn't Game Freak. This is
really.
I don't know who did the first Pokemon Snap. I can't remember, but yeah, this is all Bandai.
Okay.
It's doing this one.
They teamed up with them a few times now, right? Like Smash, and then Pokken, right? They did that too, probably. Okay, that's cool.
Well, you know what, Dean, I trust you the most for watching all the games that was revealed this weekend. You did an amazing job creating this list for us. I'm going to let you start off with what game stood out for you the most this weekend, or what game. Give me any game that you really caught your eye this weekend.
Yeah, I thought there was a couple good ones from Guerrilla Collective. The first one was Gestalt, Steam and Cinder. I thought that was a really cool looking game. It was almost like a Mega Man Zero or like a Symphony of the Night, sort of that style, but in a steampunk world. It had great music, really cool visuals as well, some cool boss fights. There was a quick screen that popped up in the trailer that showed like stats and a journal and a codex and equipment. So there's a lot of like RPG elements to it. Just looks really cool.
Yeah, this one actually did stand out to me. I do get the same exact vibes for the. At first, I was thinking Mega Man Zero, and then I started thinking more probably as closer to Symphony of the Night. I would prefer if it would be a little less Metroid-like, because I think it'd just be really good if it was just a like a 2D platformer. But
I love the Metroidvania aspect to it. That's really cool. There's a couple parts you see that's where I'm going to get the double jump. So
yeah,
I really like that.
That's just me being more of a fan of the platformer, but whatever. No, this game does look pretty damn good. But was it only, I think, for Steam right now? I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just for Steam. I don't think there's a date either.
It's very beautiful though.
Yeah, the animations are solid. Like the running hair and they're 2020. So, do you want me to talk about a couple more? Or?
Yeah, give me a couple more. I'll see if I can find some trailers for them.
Okay.
You lined that one up perfectly, Dean. That's the first one I had lined up for.
There was another one, Rookie. It's like a sort of a Scandinavian folklore type game that sort of marries itself with like a narrative adventure game. You play as a little girl named Tuve. And I really like the whole Scandinavian like fairy tale folklore, not so much like the Norse mythology, but a lot of like the monsters and little creatures that live in the woods. Spent a lot of time in Iceland, and you really get a sense of, people believing that stuff. And I don't know, I think there's a certain charm to it. The art style is great. The music's nice to listen to. So I think it looks pretty cool. Without sound, but yeah. The sound is what really makes it.
Well, I can give you some sound. But
I don't know. I like these really indie style games. So that's July 2020. I think it's just for PC though.
Solve ancient puzzles to unlock paths deeper into the forest.
Which one was on here, Dean? Was this on the first day or?
This was, this was like the fourth game they announced on the first day of the Guerrilla Collective.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty nice. Another one, Juggler's Tale. It's like that marionette one, or like a puppety platformer style game. What really sold me was like the narrative. I like that self-aware sort of narrative that not almost ridicules the player or at least speaks to how they're playing the game. And diving a little bit deeper into the development and the behind the scenes, they really put a lot of effort into sort of rhyming the narrative as you go, but making all these different branching paths of how it plays out. So, yeah, and you don't see this mechanic a whole lot. I don't know. I think there was the Puppeteer or a similar game. I never played it, but I think this is really only the second time we've seen this sort of marionette mechanic. Sorry,
my head immediately went to how they're going to incorporate the reality of the strings into the reality they've created in the world, because there's one scene in which the character tries to go under something and can't caught. Because gets caught. And so knowing that that's a real thing, then it has to take place in a world where there is, it seems like a lot of the puzzles are going to be very much get over this thing, because you couldn't, I would imagine, not detach the strings and then reattach them elsewhere. So there's going to be a lot of probably those types of, hurdling type of things, those kinds of things. And I'm hoping that doesn't get too boring, but it looks like the visual style is something that would keep me engaged for a long time. Because I'm with you. I love the indie look to any sort of game that has just a unique indie kind of look, and even better if it's a platformer. I'm all over. So
yeah, you're right though. It could be like a one-trick pony if they keep using that same mechanic to stop you from going forward.
Maybe the puppeteer actually comes down and crawls through tunnels with you so that you can get out on the other side.
Very nice. Pretty cool. What's another one? Rom Neurodiver. I'm playing Rom right now. That was part of the what was it? Not a humble bundle. It was part of the itch.io set of like 1,700 games. It's like a cyberpunky, almost like Snatcher point and click style, but with like some, I don't know, some like Phoenix Wright style mechanics to it as well. Pretty cool game. So this is a sequel to it. It has all the same characters. You play with Tomcat and Jess and who's the other one? I don't know. I don't remember. But yeah, playing through it now. The first one anyway. Loving it a lot. So the second one looks cool. And the last one was Dustborn. If you can find a trailer for Dustborn and just play that trailer.
Yeah, no problem. Sorry, that last one was really hard for me to dig out a trailer for. I was trying to dig that one out, and there's so many from the other game that was.
Yeah. So Read Only Memories, ROM, and then Neurodiver is sort of the subtitle for that. And that one's coming in 2021 as well for PC and consoles. And yeah, the last one was Dustborn. I just thought it was a really well done trailer. It's like got a really cool like comic book aesthetic, some really cool music, and then you like battle with your words.
Got it here. Oh no! Of course, there's an ad. So give me a second. Thank you.
Sponsored.
Sponsor.
Yeah, now I remember this one. Yeah, this one is really cool.
Oh yeah, no. If you can find the trailer for it though, just the initial launch trailer.
Yeah, this one was one I put on the list, and I was like, "Oh, Dean got it." No, but I was really excited looking at this one. It looks really cool.
Yeah, it's Red Thread Games. It's like a developer out of Norway. This is the first one they showed at. I don't remember what show it was. The Future Game Show, maybe.
I think so. Yeah,
that's what's listed on here. Yeah.
Yeah. So, is there audio or?
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, that's what makes the trailer, I think.
Yeah, I mean, coming right up. There you go. What kind of game is this, Dean?
So it's like you're like on a road trip. This is your crew essentially, and you battle robots with words, and it's about like love and friendship and robots and stuff.
Robots. Is it campaign or is it an online game? Do you know?
I think it's a campaign. I think it's a single player.
Okay.
Okay, this is the one I was thinking of.
Yeah.
Was this your favorite one that stood out the most, Dean, would you say?
I think it's the one that intrigued me the most. The other ones like Rocky and Gestalt and Juggler's Tale and ROM, like I know what the gameplay is. I know exactly what it's going to be. Dustborn, it's just intrigued me. It looked cool. It sounded cool.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Josh, what game stood out to you the most here? For the last few days here.
I'm not sure the most, but I really like. I've been following this game for a while. Actually, it's Skate Story. Basically, you skate through the 9 layers of the underworld, and it looks like it's going to have some kind of ominous, like maybe not a super deep story or anything, but the look and the feel of the game is really cool. You kind of play like this almost crystalline looking character. And I just love the vibe of it. It looks really awesome. And it controls like Skate. Use the right analog stick to do ollies and flip tricks and stuff.
I just another reason why Skate, had to drop all these skateboard games are coming out.
Yeah. I mean, it just has like a really cool feel. It looks like it's just I'm not really sure if it's gonna have a storyline, but just the idea of skating through 9 layers of the underworld in this like really weird looking. The art style and the aesthetic is just what it really makes me happy with this game, and it looks like it's all about doing lines through these worlds. Like you can do like different tricks and stuff. Who knows what's going to come up the game like when it's finished and everything, but I just every time I see some gameplay for this, I'm like, this just looks cool.
Yeah, the controls look super technical.
Yeah, that's kind of how skate plays. You use the right stick to pop the right. The thing is, they do have the shoulder buttons. It's kind of an added thing where you can do. You hold like L1 and R2, and you can do like different flip tricks and stuff. So it's a little more technical than skate, but
right.
I think it's going to be a good time. I don't know if it's going to be a score-based game or anything, but the aesthetics and just the general music and everything makes me interested in trying it out.
Yeah, does it play to the music, or does that have any effect on it? Or?
I'm not really sure, honestly. It just catches my eye. Every time I see some gameplay, I'm like, damn, this just looks really cool.
It reminds me of in looks anyway. It reminds me of a game called Bound. If anyone played that, it was actually really cool. You played as a ballerina, and so you got to kind of move around, but it was very angular and sort of just really cool like this. So if you're itching for a game with this kind of look, definitely check out Bound, and it's a pretty short game too. There's no skateboards though, so
I did buy that game. I never played that much of it, but yeah, I do see what you're saying with the similarities there. All right. Well, the next game I had on my list was West of Dead, which is it's like a top-down action game. It's a really cool black and white art style with like splashes of color. He plays like a skull guy. I don't know the real storyline of it, but I know Ron Perlman's the main voice actor that plays the protagonist in this. And I just think it's like a very stylish looking kind of go through the area and shoot stuff.
It's like we play like Ghost Rider, right?
Ghost Rider, yeah, he's like a flaming skull guy,
yeah.
Kind of comic booky looking. Raw Fury, they make really cool games. It just looks very fast paced. This game's coming out pretty soon too. I think maybe within the next month or so. So I mean, this has been talked about before, I think, in a different showcase, but I'm actually looking forward to checking it out. It's kind of like a twin stick style shooter, and it kind of like has some horror elements to it.
This is awesome. This looks like McFarlane stuff.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, it looks like a twin stick like Gungrave. Remember that terrible game that?
Oh yeah,
that'd be awesome. Yeah.
But it's just cool to have a Hollywood A-list actor, voicing the character too, which is just kind of nice touch there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm kind of excited to try this out when it comes out. I think it is soon. I do think it's either the end of this month or like the beginning of next month. It's coming out. So
cool.
Yeah. The other one I had was No Straight Roads. So this one's kind of a weird hybrid platforming story game with music elements to it, like rhythm-based boss fights and stuff. Has kind of a neon look to all the environments and the characters and everything like that. The way they had a developer talking over it, and they were kind of describing like you have to figure out the different rhythm mechanics based on the boss battles and stuff. And I'm a big fan of rhythm games and platforming games, so it's kind of like and story-based games. So it's kind of like converging on things I really like. And that was a gameplay demo. I haven't seen this. That's cool. But on here it looks a little more hack and slashy, but it definitely had some rhythm based mechanics in it where you have to hit on the time depending on, and that can be frustrating in some games. It depends on how they pull it off, but it definitely looks really cool. Yeah. The other one I have more from an aesthetic, it just like really catches my eyes and has awesome music, is this game called No Place for Bravery. And if you could play the music with this when you show the trailer, that'd be awesome. But it's kind of like it's an action RPG hack and slash style game, top down as well, with like incredible pixel art and really great music. And in just that, the look in the music just made me want to play just how awesome it looks. But it looks like a pretty great game on top of that, of course.
The PSP was a success.
despite the imposing shadow of the Nintendo.
I think the other one, the video's playing in the background.
Great.
But I couldn't glean too much from the trailer. I just remember watching it. I was like, oh, this looks amazing.
Sorry, go back up here.
It's the aesthetic that mostly got me on this one. Maybe that's all I got from these trailers. Like, oh, they all look pretty.
That's all you can though. Like they're showing you 100 games. Like you got to go off looks as one of your primary reasons for diving deeper.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
This looks so cool.
Yeah, it looks like Hyperlight Drifter, especially that shot right there, definitely.
And it's kind of it does look like more of a maybe I hate the word Soulsian, but more of a strategy action game where you're gonna have to dodge and parry and stuff. But yeah.
Oh yeah, this is like that dash across the pillars there, and like just everything about this looks like Hyperlight Drifter. You can totally tell they were inspired.
But this looks really fun. I could see myself playing this, like especially if it came on Game Pass, something like that. I'd definitely try it out.
What does this say? 2021 Switch and Steam?
Yeah.
Sweet.
And then the last one I had was Dreamscaper, which is a roguelike game where you visit your nightmares, and they all look different in their unique worlds each time you spawn in, and you fight bosses and try to get to the end to conquer your nightmares. That's pretty much the concept of the game. And roguelikes are hit and miss for me. I'll either love them or I don't. Once you play a couple of loops, you kind of know what the gameplay is. So if I don't like the gameplay, I'm probably not going to stick with it. But generally, this one looks really cool. It has a nightmarish vibe to it. I guess it is 3D. I'm trying to remember. It's like a hack and slashy game. I'm very bad at describing stuff today.
That's fine. You probably have pills.
Oh, I'm on antibiotics, but that's okay. I'm good. But it is a hack and slash style game, like I was saying, very badly. But yeah, you kind of fight these crazy nightmare creatures, and then when you die, you wake up, and there's puzzles to solve. And it has a kind of minimal art style for like the character models and stuff. It's kind of flat shaded, but it has really nice lighting to kind of make up for that. Kind of gives it a dreamy feel. But yeah,
it's almost like that Ashen game.
Yeah,
without the faces.
Pretty similar to that style. But that's coming out this summer too, so see how that comes out. That looks cool.
Cool. Caleb.
All right, last and definitely least. So there's a lot of cool stuff that popped out to me, but I chose 2 games here. I had a third on there, but I ended up taking it off. So a quick shout out to Skatebird, I think it was called.
I have it lined up here. So, let's talk Skatebird here. Because
why not? Why not?
Here first.
I love Skatebird.
So, yeah, it's not a new game. I mean, it's not a new release. People have known about it, but it was just one more skating game in a sea of skating games that are coming out, which just sort of solidify this whole skating resurgence. And it's also a game that I think is going to act as a good. I haven't played it at all, but I don't think it's on phones like right now, right, or something like that. Isn't it like available to play or something? Maybe not.
Oh, there's like a demo that you can play on Steam. I think that's what
it is. So I haven't played it, but just by the looks of it and everything, it looks like it's going to just be a data point in my theory that every skating game is at least fun. There's just something about a sort of constantly forward momentum, but given freedom otherwise to go any direction you want. That's just kind of fun. It reminds me of a lot of like a Marble Madness or something, like going way back. Like there's something fun about that forward momentum mechanic. And this publisher, God, I wrote down their name. What are they called? I can't remember. The Glass Bottom Games. They make a lot of like mobile looking games. And so this one, I mean, it seems like it. Wait, is that? No, I'm sorry. Different publisher. Sorry. Glass Bottom Games. What they say is they make absurdly cozy games about animals doing people things, which makes sense. I think they only have 2 or 3 games out, and this is one of them. But yeah, it looks kind of cool, and so I'm excited for that reason.
Do you think the birds all have like names like Tony Hawk or something like that?
They should. That would be awesome. Except for, name one more of those.
He's gonna have to start doing parodies then, basically. Like Billy, I don't know, Chicken or something.
Rodney Moosin. No.
Bam Mard Blue Jay. I don't know.
So the other one I want to talk about, again, not even a new game, so I don't know why I'm even bringing it up. But which one do you have? Do you have them queued up right now? I can choose.
Ready to go, whatever.
Okay, Disco Elysium. So Disco Elysium I think they're I don't know if the developers called Zaum or Zaum, and I don't think they've had really any other game. I think this is one of their first ones, but it made a huge splash when it came out on PC. Was nominated for BAFTAs, won a DICE Award, won a Game Awards. The Game Awards is, I think, where I first kind of heard about it. But the reason I bring it up is because it reminded me once again that I really want to play this game, and I'm not a PC gamer. Like, my computer just sucks really bad. I really want to play this game, and there's rumors of it being ported over to to consoles, and I just have no idea how they're going to get it to work on consoles, because it seems like there's a lot of decisions to be made at all different times, and it's going to be a lot of menu hopping probably, which can get really cumbersome on consoles. But I heard so much great stuff about this. And everyone sings its praises as one of the best games ever, especially like if you like narrative type games. So it just reminded me that I'm super excited about it. I've also heard it's very funny, and I have a thing for games that can be uniquely funny. And so I'm excited about it for sure. I'm hoping it does come to consoles.
Well, they figured out Baldur's Gate and Planescape Torment and games like that for a console too. So it's doable with that isometric view and everything.
I'm hoping they do. I'm hoping they do. So yeah, the last game that I had on here was a game called Nuts. And as most of these trailers did, what initially struck me about this game was its color palette. It just looked really cool and independent and neat. It also looked like a walking simulator, and I'm a huge fan of those. Anytime you have, like you're seeing here, people doing passive things from a first-person perspective, that generally tells me it's got some walking simulator type mechanics in it. I don't think it's quite a walking simulator. I define walking simulator as a game, like a narrative experience, but there's no lose or win condition. And I would imagine in this game, it seems like there may be some sort of drive toward a lose or win condition. So maybe it's not quite a walking simulator, but it just looks really, really cool. The colors are vibrant, possibly headache inducingly so. It's not by a single publisher or a single developer. It's by like a collective of people. And they've never made games on their own. They've made a bunch of games on their own, but they never collectively made a game. And they're being it's in collaboration with a company called Noodle Cake, and that's the developer that I mentioned earlier, that I was trying to allude to earlier, that has like a lot of mobile type games. And so this seems like a bit of a departure for them, but it looks like, in collaboration with could mean anything. So I'm excited about it. I think it's going to be one of those games that a lot of people make fun of, but that's kind of my jam, so I'm all about it.
It looked like it had a sense of humor to it from the trailer too, which is always fun.
Yeah, I mean, in the title, Nuts, like you can't have a title like that without people giggling. So it's got to be like something about that. I think, as from my understanding, is you kind of follow squirrels around and take pictures of them, and then you learn slowly that the squirrels are actually up to way more than you give them credit for, and it's sort of a whole squirrel conspiracy thing that you're uncovering, which just sounds kind of fun. So yeah, that's it for me.
All right, well, that's generally for the show what we have scheduled here. Unless we want to mention anything we're forgetting before we reveal the next Prime game, which will be October's game for the next season. Do we have anything that we want to recap one more time? Or are we all just ready to cut it off? Because there's more to come this summer.
There's more to come, and I do like the one thing I want to say is I like these reveals. I like that they're giving all these people spotlights and stuff. But I feel like it all stacked up too much in 1 week, where I just felt like the game started to blur together a lot. But not saying that's a bad thing, because I know that gets like, okay, here's a game from a studio of 2 people no one ever heard about. Here's the trailer for that game. That's awesome. But when there's 50 of those in a row, it's kind of like, okay, there's like 3 card battlers. Which one was that one? You know what I mean? And it kind of gets maybe a little lost in the mix a little bit.
Yeah, you're totally right. This has been like a 7-day sizzle reel. It's just like nonstop onslaught of game after game after game after game, and a lot of them look really cool. It's just
it's like, which one was that, and then when does it come out, and who made it, and basically, I'm not complaining that they're doing it. I just feel like it was too much, too fast. That's all it was,
Right on. I was pulling up the what next week entails here. Monday there's a developer showcase for some, I guess, other independent games, but I think the big one is supposed to be next Tuesday for the New Game Plus Expo, which has got some announcements and some updates from companies like Sega, Atlas, and more. There's a little bigger list. Was Square on that list, Josh? I can't remember exactly.
Square, Sega. No, I'd have to pull it up. I know Sega's on there.
Mm-hmm.
I can look it up real quick.
Sure.
Let me mute it. So
that's no problem. Because I'm sorry, I was just going by Jeff Keighley's list here. Yeah, like I guess pending that show that day. I guess pending schedule. I know we all have our general lives here, so I can't guarantee there will be a show after that, but maybe we'll do something a day after recapping, especially if there's some big announcements. Because there's more to be revealed this year. Maybe we'll lump it because there's some other stuff coming through. Josh, do you have anything in for me?
Yeah, if you want to, here.
Send me the link here, buddy.
Yeah.
There's also another Pokemon reveal next week as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they said it sort of at the tail end of the latest Pokemon.
I threw it in the private chat and just the webpage for it. It shows all the devs and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I think the developer showcase is kind of Jeff Keighley's thing. So I don't know what he's gonna have there. That on the 22nd. So it could be anything because he did Tony Hawk already, and he's like, "Here's Fortnite and here's the Unreal Engine 4." So this will be like the fourth time he does something that's he put together. So is that Tuesday, the 22nd? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, Monday. Next Monday.
Is it in the afternoon? Is there a time on that one? When they said
summer. That's why I muted it. My keyboard's loud. No, my keyboard's like.
So it's 8 a.m. Pacific time. Did I see that correctly?
For that one?
Yeah. Is it an all-day thing?
I don't know. What day is that? The 23rd? That's a Tuesday, right?
Yeah.
I won't be able to watch that live.
9 a.m. Pacific time to 4 p.m. Pacific time. So there won't be a live watch along for that one. I'm sorry, folks.
On June 22nd, that's Monday. There is something that is a developer showcase, which is Day of the Devs plus the Game Awards, curated by. So the Game Awards is Jeff Keighley. So I'm sure that's another little indie thing. Sure. There might be some cool stuff there. 10 a.m. Central Time, 8 a.m. Pacific on Monday.
So we'll see. I guess we'll see what's revealed in. I know because there's so much more coming up right here, and we don't have. I know we only have so much advance. We just know there's supposed to be more coming with some of the bigger shows. So who knows? Maybe this gets lumped in to something else. We'll see. We'll see how it pans out when we see next Tuesday. But I still think this was it's always fun talking to you guys. I'm gonna announce the game right now. Actually, you know what? I should pull up whatever. I don't have any thumbnails created for this. I'll just say it. So last time we revealed the first game for the next season, September's game is going to be a PlayStation 4 game. It's going to be God of War for the PlayStation 4. That's the first game starting off the next season of Cartridge Club. There's another big PlayStation game coming out. I normally probably would have a midnight release tonight, but sorry, COVID. Tomorrow they have Last of Us 2, which I'll be picking up tomorrow. But we're gonna stick with PlayStation one more time for October. But we're playing a PlayStation 1 game, and since I am one of the people who took over, I like to keep the theme of having a spooky game. And we will be playing Parasite Eve for the PlayStation 1 for October. So far we have 2 reveals, God of War and Parasite Eve. So keep in mind, we will be revealing more as we keep doing these shows throughout the summer. We have more coming for the Cartridge Club, and I hope you guys like the picks for choosing for the season. But with that being said, I'm going to wrap up the show. And you know what? Dean, why don't you start us off? Where can we find you on the internet?
I'm on Twitter. Sorry, I'm still getting over Parasite Eve. That's fantastic.
I don't know what yourself. Sorry.
Yeah, at round_2_gaming. Also in the Cartridge Club Discord, and just generally around everything Cartridge Club.
Caleb, where can we find you?
I am most active on Twitter and YouTube. Caleb J. Ross is my handle pretty much everywhere, all one word, lowercase j. Also in the Discords as well.
Frantic, fellow Playboy.
Playboy. One half the Playboy, we do the Hangouts every month. I'm not sure how that's going to work this month. We haven't really talked about that, have we? We have all this other stuff going on.
We'll work it in. We'll work it in on a Thursday. We'll work it on a Thursday. So still plenty of time left.
Been enjoying doing that. That's fun. And then I have a Twitter at Frantic Society where I talk about video games and getting my teeth pulled and getting hit by a car and all this stuff like that. And I have what's the word? Podcast. I can think of the word podcast. It's called Frantic Thoughts, where I talk about random stuff, and I really enjoy doing that. And I'm part of the Quick Save Club, which is a PC focused Game of the Month show. That's part of the Cartridge Club feed.
Which did a PC Gamer coverage yesterday, right?
Yes, we did. And the YouTube video is up on the YouTube channel, and the audio should be available within the next day or two over there for that. So, yeah.
As for myself, you can find me on Twitter and it's Instagram at the same handle. It's Rocket Sauce. Co-host of CC Prime, as we just established one of the next reveals, and also co-host with Josh and FitNet in the on CC Hangouts that we've revived here. So with that being said, I'm about to kill the spear here and kill the show. Cheers, everyone. Peace.
Bye.
Bye.